Hello friends, welcome all. In the previous video we have discussed about doubly linked list, wherein we discussed about how to perform the insertion, deletion and the display operation in case of a doubly linked list. In today's video, let us discuss one of small application of doubly linked list, that is how to use a doubly linked list to represent a sparse matrix. Now, before going to see how to code it, let's see what exactly you mean by a sparse matrix. Then it will be easy for us to come up with the code to implement it. I can say that we all know that a matrix is nothing but a two-dimensional data, wherein it can be represented in the form of a row and matrix. Similarly, the sparse matrix, I can say sparse matrix is a matrix wherein the majority of the elements are zero and very few elements in the matrix are non-zero elements. In the sense, if I take a matrix of order 5 cross 5, we know that in case of 5 cross 5, in case of a 5 cross 5 matrix, we can store 25 elements. Assume that in the first row there is one non-zero element as a 10. In the second row, I will assume that there are no non-zero elements at all. In the third row, I will assume that there is one non-zero element as 20. In the fourth row, I will take one more non-zero element as 40. In the last row, I will consider that there is one more element, a non-zero element, 40 in the last row. Now note that such a matrix is called as a sparse matrix. So let me define the sparse matrix as sparse matrix is a matrix wherein majority of the element when I say majority, let me take it as 90 to 95%. 90 to 95% of the elements are zeros and other elements are non-zero element, and one such example is this. Now what we will do is we will represent this sparse matrix in a doubly linked list. Now how to represent using a doubly linked list? So if you see there are 4 non-zero elements, let me have 4 nodes to denote this non-zero elements. First element is 10, so I know that the position of 10 is the first row and third column. So let me have a double linked list. My double linked list, the information here that I am supposed to store is a 10. Note that 10 is there in first row, third column. First row, third column. As this is the first node. First node in its previous field will be null. So I will take this as start. Now let me check whether any other non-zero elements are there. Yes, there is one more non-zero element 20. There are 2, maybe 3 more non-zero elements. So I need to have this is the last node. Last node in its next field will be null. So first node next pointing to second node previous pointing to first node, similarly second and third and fourth. Now my second non-zero element is a 20, which is there in third row, second column. Third row, second column, 20 is there. Next fourth row, fifth column, 30 is there. And finally there is 40 which is there in fifth row and first column. So this is how I can come up with a double linked list to represent a sparse matrix. Here I have taken an example as the order of the matrix as 5 cross 5. Assume that there is a matrix of order 100 cross 100 or maybe 50 cross 50, wherein you can store nearly some 1000 or 10,000 elements. In that particular case, if the majority of the element are 0, then it is really mere waste to store to use some memory location wherein you are just storing zeros. So a better approach is use a linked list. It might either be a single linked list or a double linked list. Now, as we have discussed so many applications with respect to single linked list, I am using a double linked list to represent the sparse matrix. So this is the objective. This is our objective. What we are doing is we are representing a sparse matrix with the help of a doubly linked list, and we'll do the reverse procedure also. Maybe at the end, with the help of the double linked list, I will construct the matrix. I'll reconstruct the matrix. So what I will do, I will start reading the content of the double linked list, and I will check. This is the first row, third column. First row, third column. That implies that first row, first column, first row, second column are 0. First row, third column is 10. So I will have 10 here. Then followed by zeros, because I don't have. My next node is third row. So second row there is nothing. So I will have all zeros here. Next is the third row, second column. So third row, second column is 20. Next node is fourth row, fifth column is this position is 30. And finally I have fifth row, first column. Fifth row, first column is 40, and all others are zeros. Now what we will do with this sparse matrix, let us generate the double linked list. Let us create a double linked list. This is the first step that we will be doing. Once we are done with this, we will display the double linked list with the normal display function, and then we'll come up with one more function wherein we will generate the matrix. We'll generate the matrix with the help of the doubly linked list as the input. Hope this should be clear. This is what we are doing today. We are representing a sparse matrix with a double linked list, and then with the double linked list we are regenerating the matrix. Now let me come up with the header files as usual. No special header files are required. Let me have stdio.h. Let me write the structure definition for each node. If you have observed, each node contains the row number, column number, and the data. So, int row, comma column, comma data. So this is the information that I am storing in each of the node. Second member, something as struct node star next. This is the pointer variable which holds the address of the next node. Struct node star previous, which holds the address of the previous node. Let me write a type def struct node star capital. So this was about the structure definition that I am using. Now let me come up with the insertion function. Now assume that there is a matrix. For the matrix I need to construct a doubly linked list. Note that while creating the doubly linked list, the doubly linked list should be created as insert end. A new node should be inserted to the end of the list. So first thing that we will be doing is we'll write the insert end function. Return type of the function as node. Function name insert end. Argument to function, the reference of my list, which is node start. Coming to the second argument, let me take it as the row number. I'll use the variable name as row only here, the argument variable. Even in case of the structure also, note that it was row, column, and finally item. This is the item to be stored in the node. Now let me take a variable by name temp, allocate memory for temp. Temp is equal to node malloc size of struct node Now what are the information? Information are row, column and data. So temp of row is equal to row. Temp of column is equal to column. And temp of data is the item. We will make a temp of previous as null. Similarly, we will make a temp of next and also null. If we are performing the insertion operation for the first time, then start will be null. So if start is equal to null, return temp. Now if this is not so, what is our objective? Our objective is to add a new node at the end of the list. We know the address of the first node. So what we will do? We will take a variable by name current, hold it, make it to hold the address of the first node. Traverse current to end of your list, while current of next not equal to null, current is equal to current of next. Now what we have made? We have made current to hold the address of the last node. Now last node, next field should be pointing to next. Current of next should be pointing to temp, and temp of previous, it should be pointing to last node, that is current. We are done with this. Now return the address of the first node. Return start. Close your function. Simple function. I think this we have already discussed in the previous video how to perform the insertion at the end of the list. Now we will go for the display. Even we have discussed the display function also, but while displaying, we are supposed to display the row number, column number and all those things. So now what we have done, we have created a doubly linked list. Let me write the code to display the content of the doubly linked list. Argument is the reference of my list, which is node start, node temp. If start is null, it implies that list is not there. If start is equal to null, printf list is empty. Else, I need to display the content of the list. Temp is equal to start. While temp not equal to null, printf. We need to display the information stored in each of the node. Information stored is the row number, column number and the non-zero element. So percentage D, a tab space, percentage D, a tab space, percentage D, a new line character. This is temp of row, comma, temp of column, comma, temp of data. Change the reference of your temp to next node. Temp is equal to temp of next. Close your while loop, close your else, close your function. Now what we can do is, as we are displaying a row, column and data, here within this else, we will have a printf with a new line character. First is row, a tab space, next is column, a tab space, next is data, a new line character. Generally, we used to write printf the content of list R. Now we'll just modify it rather than having that printf with the content of list. We know that the list content are row number, column number, and the data. So I've used that. So this is about how to display the content of a double linked list. As I told earlier, what is our objective? Our objective is to read a matrix. With the matrix, construct a double linked list. I have displayed the double linked list. Now, assuming that double linked list is there, we will regenerate the matrix. So I'll write one more function. Write one more function. Let me take the function name as display matrix. Earlier it was just display, wherein we have displayed the content of the double linked list. Now we'll write display matrix. Input, maybe argument to this display matrix function is the reference of the double linked list. From the double linked list, I need to regenerate the matrix. So it is a node start. Now there should be two other arguments: the order of the list, the number of rows m, and let us take the number of columns denoted as n. Now, as it is a two-dimensional, I need to take two variables I and j. I need to process my list, so I will take a variable called temp. Now I will make initially temp to hold the address of my first node. Now we know that we can display the content of to display the matrix. We use two for loops. I am using the same logic for I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to m, I plus plus. So within this for loop, there is one more for loop. For j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j plus plus. I'll open this. Now here we are supposed to have the printf statement. Now to print, we'll either print the non-zero element or we should print the zero there. So let us use the condition, write a condition. If temp not equal to null, and what is this I? I is the index for row. Temp of row is equal to I, first case. Second one, and temp of column is equal to j. If this condition matches, then only I should printf percentage d, a tab space. I will print the data part, that is the non-zero element. Print temp of data, and then I will move temp to the next node. Temp is equal to temp of next. I'll close this. Sorry, let me check. Write this. If this condition is true, I'll open this if statement. If this condition is true, print the non-zero element and change the reference of temp to the next node. Temp is equal to temp of next. Close this. If part, else part. If it is a 0, then I have to display 0. Else printf if this does not match. If temp of row does not match with I and temp of column does not match with j, then it implies that it is 0. 0, a tab space. I'll close the first for loop. Next, I'll go for the next row. Printf new line character. I'll close the second for loop and then I'll close the function. Hope this should be fine. I'm traversing the number of rows, number of columns. If row matches with I and column matches with j, then I'm printing the data and then I'm moving the reference of temp to the next node in my double linked list. If this condition fails, I'm printing a 0. Yeah, this gets printed. I'm traversing, maybe I'm going through all the locations of my matrix. This is about from a double linked list, how to reconstruct the matrix. Now, finally, we'll come to the main function. Now in the main function, maybe int main, declare variable start, node start. First and foremost thing, initialize null to start. Int m, n, I, j, item. First thing, we'll read the order of the matrix. Printf read order of matrix. Scanf ampersand of m, ampersand of n. Once I read the order of the matrix, read the matrix. Printf read matrix elements. Okay. Take two for loops. For I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to m, I plus plus. For j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j plus plus. Scanf percentage d ampersand of item. Every time I will read either zeros or non-zeros. If it is non-zero, then only I need to put it onto list. If item not equal to 0, put it onto list. Start is equal to insert begin of start comma. If you have noticed, insert begin function second argument was row, that was I, j, comma, item. Close this for loop, close this for loop. Hope this should be fine. What I have done, I have read the order of the matrix. After reading the order of the matrix, I am reading the matrix element. I am reading the whole matrix element. It may either be 0 or non-zero. If it is 0, I am not doing anything. If it is non-zero, then I am putting it onto my double linked list. Now, what I am supposed to do now, I need to display, call display function, display of start. We are displaying the content of the double linked list. The second function that I am supposed to call is display matrix. I am supposed to call display matrix. Let me call display matrix. Display matrix had 3 arguments: the reference of my list, the number of rows, and the number of columns, m and n. Return 0. Close your function. In case if you want some additional printf statement, you can have printf statement before. Maybe I think we have written printf for displaying the content of the double linked list, wherein I think row, column, and data was there. I'm not sure about display matrix, whether we have used any printf within the display matrix or not. If you have not used any printf function, make sure, okay, you are adding a printf function before calling this display matrix function. Hope this should be clear. This is a sample application. Maybe I have taken a very sample application wherein I can use the concept of double linked list. Thank you.